Talk about pruning.
Yeah.
We
Can I just
prune.
ask one more quick question
Yeah, of
about
course.
clones?
Yeah, sure.
If you were able to choose a clone for this block, do you have a
One
that you
clone.
think would be, or
One
a
clone
choice?
to
What
rule
would
them all
your,
out.
with your experience,
dear.
what would your personal
From my experiences, if I had to go one clone, I'd probably plant 667. But that's a guess. Why? Because it's a nice clone.
Easy to remember.
That's a good enough reason.
In
though.
terms of what, though? In terms of
I would
wine
choose
made?
it primarily because it's more prone to chuffing out smaller berries. Yeah.
And is it vigorous, more vigorous to suit your soil?
Pinot is generally vigorous, but it's only moderately vigorous here. I go back to the point I made about trimming once a season.
Yeah.
And are the bunches a bit looser or tighter? Or
Depends. This year they were tight. There
so
was.
the clone doesn't really determine the bunch?
It does. The genes determine the bunch architecture, if you want to use that term.
Yep.
But God, if you want to use that term, determines how many berries and how big the berries are and all the other bits and pieces. We have some control by the amount of irrigation we put on, etc.
Yep.
But I can assure you this year, I know because I did all the counts and I still got the crop wrong. We have to estimate, we have to take fruit off here every year. Well, actually, there was one year we shouldn't, but we did.
Yeah.
But that was another story. Only a little bit. We take fruit off here every year. Pinot likes to crop. Pinot will give you a big crop. If we'd left the crop on here that had been set, we would have cropped at about 13 tonne to the hectare. As it is, we cropped between, I think the lightest was just under 7 up to 9. And it ripened pretty well. But in those years where it's big, you know, your quality does get affected to some degree. How much is for you to decide. Yeah, but, you know, there is variation. I did all the counts. I've never seen such high berry numbers in this block before. Massive.
Was that just last season?
100 and,
Yep,
I think I
16.
averaged 100 and, I think I averaged 145 berries in some of the clones here, which is massive.
What do you think the main contributor to that?
It's a rare bunch.
The main contributor to that would have been two factors. The previous spring's fruitfulness, bunches per vine, and the favourable flowering and set conditions we had. So the potential was there for big crop, and then we had a beautiful flowering and set, and we got a big crop. Pretty much fundamentally that.
Has it increased every year?
All this
No,
is good learning.
it varies every year. It varies every year, folks. Next year we have high fruitfulness, again, predicted, but we could have a poor flowering set and have half the crop or 2/3 the crop that we set this year. So, you know,
So off
who
the
knows?
stuff we've taken, I reckon we've averaged, the lowest was just under 5 tonne a hectare, and then the highest would have been 8.5.
Yeah,
average.
8.8.
And that's averaged over all of the clones.
Yep.
So we all split the clones evenly.
Yeah. So my job when I've got, you know, berries about pea size or slightly smaller is to come in and to try and estimate the potential crop. And it's a hard job. But that's one of my tasks.
Do you
Uh,
sorry, by the section?
No,
No.
no. I just count.
Okay.
I count to get an average number of berries per bunch. Then I have to use a district average or a
Yep.
block average
Yep.
of berry weight.
Yep.
And I use about 1.1 grams. Look, the average bunch weight in this block most years is between 90 and 110 grams. It was 145 grams this year.
Wow.
How
So,
many times did you say?
you know,
How many times did you drop crop?
3 times we went through and dropped fruit. And our biggest crop drop was at Frason because we still didn't have it right.
And I came up just after I'd finished, and I looked at all the fruit on the ground, and I thought,
We could have guessed.
too much. And
Yes.
then
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Well, no, it wasn't. So you've got to come in, you've got to trust your numbers, but you don't always get them spot on, but you do actually have to trust your numbers and get on with it.
That's what this year has really taught us, just to trust
Trust
the
your numbers, yes.
We didn't believe them, and we all should have.
Yeah, and it's hard because like our clients here pay by the hectare. So if we drop half the crop and it turns out they only get 5 tonne to the hectare, I'm going to be in massive trouble. So we have to be very mindful of all these factors.
And I'm the accountant of our business.
That's right. and Claudia's the accountant, to be feared. Now, pruning.
Okay, I'll just reset.